Tennessee survived at Neyland Stadium 34-31 over Arkansas in a struggling defensive performance. But I'm going to tell you one thing that Tennessee's defense is doing much better this year than it did last season that will continue to help the Vols win games.
Taking down.
Hey, Lucas Panzica here from 104.5 The Zone and A to Z Sports. We talk about it every week. Survive and advance. That is the theme of the college football season, especially in the SEC, and that applied to the Tennessee Vols on Saturday, taking a 17-point fourth quarter lead after a back-and-forth first three quarters, looking like Tennessee was going to walk away with a comfortable victory over the Arkansas Razorbacks until Arkansas came scorching back on offense with back-to-back touchdown drives to make it a 3-point game. Tennessee, in the end, does enough on offense, stringing together a couple of first downs. Arkansas with no timeouts, and the Vols are able to run out the clock. And this game, rightfully, has a lot of criticism and a lot of Tennessee fans griping about Tennessee's defensive performance against an Arkansas offense that, make no mistake, has been good all season long, and Taylon Green is one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the SEC. We all know Bobby Petrino's resume as an offensive head coach. With that said, yes, it is a concern that Tennessee's run defense continues to struggle. Gave up 240 rush yards in this game, the majority of those in the first half. Tennessee continues to give up big plays defensively, and that plagued them in this game as Arkansas was able to get back into it. And when you look at most of the major defensive categories when it comes to the stats, Tennessee is going to be much worse at the midway point of 2025 than they were last year when they were at or near the top of the country, much less the SEC, in yards per game allowed, pass yards allowed, rush yards allowed, you name it. This season, Tennessee is dead last in the SEC in pass yards allowed per game. They are bottom half in the SEC in rush yards per game allowed. But there is one thing that Tennessee is doing much better in 2025 defensively than they were in 2024, even as elite as that 2024 defense was, and that is affecting the quarterback. The Vols had another 5-sack performance in this game against Arkansas that brings up their season total to 26 sacks. Last year, Tennessee had 29 sacks in the entirety of the 2024 season. We're at the halfway point of 2025, and the Vols are another 3-sack performance away from already matching that entire mark from last season. The Vols also have been much better at forcing turnovers, defensively forcing 3 on Saturday against Arkansas. Of course, some of those leading to touchdowns for the Vols to secure that win. Now, there are a lot of differences here. Tennessee is not as sound defensively. Tennessee is giving up certainly more yards and more points than they were last year. And of course, that's the name of the game on defense. But this Tennessee defense is more opportunistic than they were a year ago. And another thing Tennessee is better at in 2025, throwing the football, explosive plays, putting up points on offense, getting off to fast starts in games on offense, things that they struggled with a year ago. So which one would you rather have? An explosive offense complemented by an opportunistic defense that's going to give up yards, going to give up points, going to give up big plays, but will take advantage of moments with quarterback sacks, with turnovers forced that lead to more points? Or would you rather have an offense that struggles out of the gates, that can't get any rhythm going in the downfield passing game, complemented by a defense that is much better at most of the counting stats that you see when evaluating a defense overall? I would take the former, and Tennessee's got that in 2025. There's a lot to be cleaned up, no doubt, on the defensive side of the ball, but Tennessee's defense is still going to help it win a lot of games in 2025. They're just going about it in a very different way.